Intro, guys. Welcome to qualifier number 7. This will be played on Gladiator. Everyone will play the Celt, and we are instantly fighting for the monument in the center. And
lost
we
it.
see
Robo had it and then he lost it.
how did that happen? So we see some hill advantages here as well. And for everyone who is new to this format, Jupe, now controlling the center, will get 1 food, 1 wood, 1 gold, 1 stone per second, and is getting chased by Mr. Kugelblitz here, who is trying to contest it as well. A lot of people going back for the start and trying to find for the monument later. Whoever controls this monument after 550 years are down wins the game. With me is Mr. Timotheus. How are you doing?
This already has been a more interesting start. It seems like players have learned based on the first 2 rounds what not to do. I mean, the first time we saw one person losing all his militia in the first 10 seconds of the game, which clearly isn't a good plan. And the first few seconds of that game, Jupe had a really messy economy, which was very funny to watch, as all his villages were idle.
Yeah, well, but he is getting enough resources here for sure. Look at that, he's already climbing quite a bit, controlling for over 2 minutes now and getting quite a lot of resources out of it.
Gold advantage from that will be absolutely humongous if he decides to boom. It means that he just needs wood food economy and then he can already lay like 6 TCs with no problem.
Well, we will see. We will see about that. The monument at the center is roughly 12 villagers, and yeah, that's a nice start for him. If we take a look at the resources already earned, we see him heavily ahead when it comes to wood, which everyone else is getting is at food par, but stone and gold already heavily skyrocketing for him.
You take a look at Robo. He's starting to already lay Stark. He's already killed one of the deer, one of the houses, and he's just trying to be a right pain. On the south
okay.
side.
Oh, by the way, we have Marauder playing Japanese here. That's something I didn't see coming. And he will get raided by Pokshow from the side. Let me see.
Is it going to be the Palisade Gate? No. Okay, that's really bad for. He doesn't even have Loom, so he's losing 1 villager immediately.
And that's actually the first kill of the game. Quite weird, right? Everyone is spawning with the 16 militia. And that was the first kill of the game.
It's gone to Jupe yet, because the logical choice of person to annoy would be to kill all Jupe's houses, and sort of delay him a small bit to negate his massive advantage over everyone. Yeah,
that's so true, and that's something that kind of, well, you don't really know where they're spawning, or do you? You should know where there's, oh no, there's no blue stone walls.
You don't really know they're spawning, but based on you go really fast. You just go around in a circle. It shouldn't be too difficult to find blue. And Robo just destroying another house and trying to be a pain to everyone.
Yeah, he is enjoying this for sure. On some sheep, but going back, Ecos at home. Looks like everyone between 14 and 16 villagers. Robo actually having the best start, still without Loom as well.
Won't make too much of a difference. Something he should be careful of is with all the militia on the alert, not getting a Loom could always be fairly dodgy.
We'll see. Obviously, they can advance to feudal age. This is, except the militia in the center, a pretty normal start, and we have normal resources as well, normal gold spots. You can expand, but it is free for all, and it is the fight for the monument. Or actually, at the moment, it's not even a fight.
Definitely, and Jupe even getting his scout to claim all those walls, which will give him a bit of extra information if people try to go towards the center through the walls. But his start is really sweet. His resources are just amazing, and he's already on the way to feudal age.
Okay. Yeah, his resources obviously like super sick. And the thing is, Dave, the only one picking Japanese here, and that's why he's always behind when it comes to protecting his villagers. All the other militia just walking so much faster. And it feels like Kugelblitz is trying to take another engagement. But Jupe, he should be the first one having the M&A upgrade, right? Oh, Jupe is taking this fight, but this is uphill. This looks good for Kugelblitz.
think at this point Jupe just needs to keep running around in circles till he gets men at arm. He'll have it a lot faster. He's already getting the barracks. It's clear he's paying attention, wanting to research it. Should be no problem for Jupe to continue to defend this if he just keeps running.
Would you like to see him send some villagers in the center and just build like 5 archers or something?
The archers would be really necessary. Maybe just sending a village or two, so that once he gets men at arms, he just does a clean stone wall of the center. He's got the 700 extra stone at the moment, so sending 4 villagers or 5. How much villages is the one equivalent to? 12, was it, or something?
Yeah, something like 12.
You could send 12 villages if you wanted to, just to stone wall the center, because it's that just efficient.
Now he's even adding 2 more militia and doing the M&A upgrade. He will be boss of the monument for quite some time.
Yeah. Wants to keep control, makes a lot of sense. He's getting a lot of resources from it. And he isn't sending a villager yet, which is surprising. It's definitely something that the player with control should have looked to do, just stonewall and prevent anyone from accessing it.
Yeah, agreed. And no one is really going for the home base of Jupe still,
which is very surprising. It doesn't. I guess they don't want to make an enemy if they're right beside him.
Yeah, maybe that, but like you can kill more than 12 villagers or idle more than 10 villagers. They have to be all super unprotected in Jupe. That's actually not clever that he is not walling his home base as well.
It's surprising the dynamics of free for all. A lot of it is who do you want to annoy at the time, and clearly Jupe has no enemies out of the people playing him at the moment, which is always beneficial in a free for all.
Well, he is a nice guy, so makes a lot of sense. But who do you really want to see suffer? Probably Robo, right?
Well, at this point, I think most people want to see Robo suffer, as he's been walking around killing a huge amount of houses.
Oh, and Marauder now coming to the back and snacking some of Poxo's villagers, who is trying to quick wall, but couldn't really get it in. And now, with that damage output, and you see, that's the specialty of scenario player, how he's stacking his M&A over each other. He didn't right-click that lumber camp. He stacked the M&A and then attacked, and that's some major damage output by him. Oh boy.
That's really bad for... And now Robo is sending his militia to attack Jupe, which isn't going to do anything at the moment. He may be able to get into the back, but Jupe may have a knight or two. He sees it.
This is Castle Age timing 1320, and remember guys, we just started with 3 villagers, so that's all the monument carrying him.
DC about to build a second one, and his stone output is insane. Already able to get a castle and a few extra town centers on top of that.
I probably can. Robo clicking Castle Age before the M&A upgrade, and Robo now saying monument is giving rest. There's no way. Don't tell me you didn't know that.
Well, like I didn't know it either, because in a few of the tests I did in other maps, I didn't get any resource.
Okay, but well, it was in King of the Hippo 5, and it is in the description in the sign up.
Using the King of the Hippo mod this year, and I didn't get any resources in one of the tests, so I assumed there was no resources.
Okay, well, I did write it, but well, happens. Okay, Jupe now clearing up all that. He has some knights, he has some longsword men. That should be some solid kills for him. Not much Robo can really do. He walled himself quite nicely. And I'm getting a big static from you. Are you still here? Did you drop?
No, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah. Now it's all fine again.
Marauder winning the battle against Poxo, which puts Poxo in a really bad position, having 7 men at arms just in his area. Meanwhile, he's trying to eliminate Marauder with double ranges. Both of them are trying to cancel each other out. No one fully going for Jupe until too late. I mean, what's militia going to do against knights?
Yeah, that's so true. And Jupe, he has to be happy with how this game is going for him so far. It's now up to 3 TCs, and thanks for the donation, Mr. Ivik, and before that, Mr. Ulani. Thank you for your support for NAC2.
Definitely look to see from Jupe at the moment is with all the additional resources he's getting from the Wonder, he definitely has enough. He has the ability to start trying to obtain a chunk of the map. This is where just stonewalling your base, trying to claim as much resources as possible, is definitely valuable in the free-for-all game.
And Robo is doing that probably the best, controlling the right-hand side corner for himself. Not too many resources though in the back, so that's not too important, but he can't really get raided. And, well, is it such a big difference if you do palisade wall or stone walls? If an enemy really wants to get in, they will do it in late game anyways.
Difference at the start, when you have the stone, it's more ideal obviously to do the stone wall. It's more of if someone tries to send their villagers to make a town center or barracks or some random building in your territory, they can't get in, which definitely makes a big difference. That being said, Robo's wall is not the most effective. On the bottom side, he could have claimed extra gold, and walling in front of that wood pile could have been a lot more efficient.
Robo's owning the monument now. For the first time, I think it switched, right?
Oh yeah, now he's got his scout. Now he needs to keep his scout alive.
But will be tricky against the castle. A lot of longsword men around Robo, and he lost it again. He enjoyed his 10 seconds there.
His castle, and now he should actually probably try to stone wall around the monument. Maybe he's going to try the OP strategy of stronghold castles, firing 25% faster. That's something I'm not sure we've seen before.
I think I've never thought of that upgrade ever before.
It's one of the generally more useless techs, but could be OP in this map.
It's like person plus damage against rams as well, right? Yeah, it feels okay-ish, but...
So even I did some tests with my brother again with boiling oil, and it was just the most pathetic tech I've ever seen. Absolutely nothing.
Well, there are discussions to change that, so makes a lot of sense. Okay, let's take a look. Knights are now coming back. Some longsword men, Stark's aggression, and I'm really curious. Like, those are some big names. Dave is like really good in those scenarios. Robo, Kugelblitz, Jupe, and then the big names obviously like Proxo and Stark. This is a pretty sick lineup. I'm really curious who is going through here, because those should be somewhat the favorites to take the finals in as well.
The thing is, whoever wins this, depending on who it is, if they have any sort of enemies who have already qualified, that could be difficult. I know a lot of the game is who do you not like, trying to eliminate them. I don't know how many enemies these players have.
Yeah, like on the low level, like someone like Dave wouldn't really get attacked by the normal 15 and 1600s because he's so loved by the community, right? So it's like he has an advantage in those games.
That if Dave got through, he'd have a big advantage. Poxo potentially as well. Kugelblitz. It's interesting, just depending on what they do at the start, it even makes a big difference. So you've already got Murado and Poxa just trying to eliminate each other, not even focusing on the fact that everyone else is booming away and they're going to be easy to kill.
Yeah, it's so weird. Those still in feudal age 39 and 35 villagers. The third lowest is at 66, and that's Stark going for a heavy boom eco and attacking. But now running into a castle and saying he is too strong.
Feels bad for Stark, who has to be right beside the person getting all the benefit from the monuments. Gives Kugelblitz and Robo especially that night. Robo is definitely in the strongest territory at the moment, given that he's as far away from from Dupe, and he's got the 2 feudal age guys just above him, which he could steal their territory if he wanted to.
Yeah, well, let's see about that. For now, it's, well, Jupe losing a lot of villagers here, trying to get that castle up, but it was still only a feudal age army, and he did send a lot of villagers early on, so he will be fine. I died here, guys, sorry. Well, what did you think? Like, he still had 75 villagers. He can just sit back and then fight for the monument, right?
Yeah, the 4 players still with a nice chance of winning this. Stark less so because he's unfortunately beside Dupe, which puts him under a lot more pressure. But if all 3 of them fight so much that it allows yellow and green to reboom, then anything could happen. But Robo, same villages as both Dupe and Kugelblitz, with already his territory staked out. Definitely in a strong position.
Oh man, it seems like 2 players were in this game, not knowing that the monument is given resources. It was Stark and Dave. Dave just came online shortly before the event, so didn't really have the time to read this up. But Stark, well, he signed up for this tournament as well, and it was King of Dippo 5 had the same mod as well. So, well, I think it might not affect the game too much, because they fought on their own anyways, and well, we still have 220 years to go for, so it's still time to contest the center.
Plenty of 200, even 100 years is plenty of time. There's still enough time for both yellow and green to fully catch up and reboom before anything serious happens, which is impressive given how far behind both of them are at the moment.
Massive skirms, let's take a look. That could be a lot of dead skirms running into that mangonel. And that looks like a big shot coming in. Grounded check, that is the first good shot. Give me a second one, please. And Dave has no idea.
Don't split, don't split. Oh, that could have been so much better. Where was the attack round? Where was the attack round?
And there was only 3 shots, 3 dead skirms. Okay, now he's going for the split. And that actually, yeah, cost a lot of resources. Or like, cost a lot of HP. But only losing 3 skirms.
So much better. That's really sad. Dupe in Imperial Age definitely makes Stark in a much worse position. But Stark's boom has been pretty solid. That got Poxo trying to irritate Dupe means that irrationally Dupe may decide to go all the way across the map to kill Poxo in revenge, because that's what dynamics in free for all are like.
And now people complaining like, oh, someone should have told me that the monument is given resources. Yeah, well, Dupe now on the way to lead Vote Riders as well, and that will be probably the unit that will dominate this game, right? Like maybe Samurais of Marauder, but everyone else kind of has to go for mass elite Vote Riders, or is there another option?
It would have to be a combination of Vote Raiders, Siege Onager. Just those are the 2 main units I can see in this game for 5 of the players. Obviously Samurai is by far the best option for Marauder, but for all the other players I can't imagine Champion really cutting it. Maybe Champion just because you can spam 1,000 barracks, but if the players get castles close, it will mainly be Wood Raider.
Yeah, probably. How good are Scorpions? Like some in the back are pretty good against Vote Rider fights, but they can easily get sniped and obviously die pretty quickly against SO as well. I feel, yeah, probably some SO and mass Vote Rider
would probably be a good idea, especially since to fully upgrade Scorpions it doesn't cost any gold. The heavy Scorpion and Siege Engineers both just wood and food, so having a few of them just to help mop up some Wood Raiders in Woads vs. Woad fights could be pretty nice. And it's not too taxing on the economy either.
Okay. Well, we see most of them going for exactly those Woad Riders. Just running around, annoying some, and we still have 160 years, so some time to boom up. It feels like Poxo and Marauder are taking themselves out of the game. that kind of means only 4 players really contesting for the center, I'd say. This will be not our typical FFA where everyone is going for the center. Those two are kind of out of the game.
If Robo or Dupe, whoever one's closest to them, decide to just sack their base, and they'd have a lot of extra golden stone to use. And that probably would be a better option than trying to annoy Stark or Kugelblitz. And it'd mean that if you took yellow and green out, then you'd have one entire front where you were fully established.
No, well, okay. We'll see about that. I still feel that maybe Jasama towers and samurais could be a pretty good option for controlling the center. So I feel Japanese still have a pretty good shot here, but at the same time I feel that he won't really survive till there. We're down now to 130 years. Purple is grouping up, teal is grouping up, blue is controlling the center. Well, Stark kind of stabilized as well. It feels like they will team up heavily against Drew pretty soon.
The only way I can really imagine Murata getting back into the game fully established as Japanese with Yasama Towers and Samurai is if Jupe or one of the 4 powerhouses decide to completely destroy Poxo. And I think the Yasama Towers and Samurai would be very difficult to dislodge, but he's just so far behind, unable to access a lot of his resources right now.
And now people complaining, how can Jupe raid? What are you doing? Yeah, he got all the res. I'm fighting him since feudal age, which isn't too true. But well, he's doing some annoyance at the side here, and that is pretty efficient still for Stark, who is now pretty close to the score of Jupe and actually ahead in population, but that's because he has at 165 villagers. That has to be an overboom.
Well, it's the classic Stark boom. Even you see it in all the massive arena tournaments, him spamming 7, 8, 9 town centers, getting all his eco fully established and then deleting them and then building army. It's very typical Stark play and very effective in free-for-alls because getting a perfect economy is a really good place to start instead of engaging in feudal castle warfare like Murata and Poxo at the top.
Yeah, well, now they can't really get out of it, right? It feels a bit weird. Okay, Jupe still running around. He's going for cap rams, and now we're down to 100 years, guys. That means you are all spamming nearly years in the chat, indeed, because from now on, whoever wins this one, when it's 0, and whoever is owning that monument will win the game. And you see, people, they are changing focus. Now they realize, okay, it's all about the center. Let's engage here. That's a lot of siege from Robo as well. Stark is solidly set up here as well, but not a lot of meat shield in front of his army.
Something the players should definitely look to start doing is destroying the single wall segments leading to the middle, because that's something that could definitely be fairly frustrating if you're trying to get siege or something to the middle, having all those wall segments just constantly blocking you. Already Jupe is deleting it from his side.
Oh, he's running around, but eating a lot of shots, and that's like half of his Bolt Riders going down before they can even attack. And those Scorpions are just so super efficient. And suddenly Jupe lost like 35 Bolt Riders here and the castle in no time.
So it's not quite dead yet, but will go down very easily.
Murata is coming over with some skirmishers sitting under the castles, and purple, well, he is fighting off blue, and whenever every unit of blue is down, the monument owner will switch. Let's take a look. I think they are teaming up here quite nicely.
There's no chance that Jupe will be able to keep the middle this round. Given the amount of extra resources he's got from the center, I'm not sure how much of his stuff he's actually used. This is where he could just sit back, leave the middle, wall his base, and just get ready for the next push and get teched up. There's still a lot of technologies he hasn't gotten, and that's definitely going to hurt if he tries to keep on to the wonder.
Yeah, well, he has all the tech. Yeah, that's pretty good for him. Actually, like, I didn't see any Onager tech, and I didn't see any Siege Ram tech either yet. He's still controlling it, though. 50 more years, but now more Scorpions from the right-hand side. Impossible for him to hold this.
I wonder if any of the players are going to end up this game having researched strongholds.
I already saw it in the tech, so one player did it.
Which one was this? Robo or Kugel?
I think it was two, but I'm not sure. Well. Okay, well, he is going back. He realized, okay, that's not my war to win here. 90 years and, well, Robo has a sick army. Look at that. 87 military, and that's like, except SO, fully upgraded Celt's army. Super scary.
Not going to be easy to dislodge. And the route that Kugel Blitz is taking of just massing mode raiders isn't going to be able to dislodge it, as we saw the Scorpions just shredding the Duke's roads earlier. If he can mass a few Siege Onager, then suddenly I can easily imagine Robo getting pushed back, but I haven't really seen any SO yet, which is very strange.
Yeah, Stark only now taking Onagers. Robo has Onager tech but didn't go for SO. And Siege Workshop for our purple player only now being built, so that will take some time. And at the moment, Stark lost a lot of his Scorpions there against the Rams, needs to regroup. I still don't like the army quote-unquote composition, because it's basically only Scorps.
Given that it's only Scorpions, then if everyone else is only building Scorpions as well, then you don't have the same fear as if there's SO. So Robo, given the other players' positions, is actually in a fairly strong situation. The fact that he's got no one going to be attacking him really from behind is such a big advantage. If he secures the top half of the Wonder with a bunch of buildings.
Oh boy, and I think they need to attack now. Don't you think so? That's a lot of HP. Remember, close to 400 HP on those siege rams here. Now reinforcing with some castles, and that's still over 100 military in that center area. Purple and red, they need to team up and they need to make a go. Blue at the same time raiding yellow. I'm not sure if that's too beneficial. I like the position for Robo here.
Definitely in a strong position. He's got a lot of rams there. And I can't imagine him being dislodged very easily. He just needs a bunch more buildings in the center, whether it's barracks or siege workshops. Even if he only builds pikemen, if he has 15 barracks beside the middle, then it's just hard to stop.
Uh-oh, tricky scenario for sure. Another castle for him, only down to 50 years. This looks pretty good for Robo. I feel people aren't really taking enough care of him. Purple, what is he doing? He's still sitting in his castles. He needs to attack ASAP.
What, Kugel Blitz, he's probably hoping that a bunch of the other players will be able to stop him, stop Robo, and then try to mop things up. But even him hasn't researched Siege Onager. He's only got a huge amount of roads, and he is trying to attack Robo's stuff from behind, and that is going to be kind of useful in the scheme of things. But the first thing that needs to go down is Robo's army in the center, which I cannot see it going down right now.
Well, at the moment he's somewhat out of position, doesn't really have a lot there. And Purple, he was too late attacking there. He needs to move in ASAP, as I said before. Red is trying to defend, Blue is coming in. Maybe Robo, he didn't position himself too well, is now kind of out of it, but most of the Blue Boat Riders are going down. Oh, what is Purple doing? 28 years left.
And Robo doesn't have much resources, but I think he does have enough HP in the center that it's going to be really hard to get him. With those rams, I think Robo has a very good chance of getting this game in this next 23 years. I can't imagine him being stopped.
And look at that. Robo is sending in some rams against Purple, who isn't attacking now. 20 years for him, and Robo just spamming so nicely. Purple running around but eating so many shots. He is just...
I think it's just
killing
right
everything
now.
At the moment.
Oh, just don't cut it. You need SO, and none of the players have SO, which is very surprising. And then you've still got Poxo and Marauder still trying to recover and killing each other. So you've got Poxo attacking Marauder's base instead of focusing on the center, and no one's going to be able to take out Robo. This is game.
Oh man, and that was just poor communication. Stark whining all game long. Purple not really going for the attack. Robo with the beautiful timing. Now sending in over some villagers. He is all in here. And, well, Onager shots could come in, but a bit too late if you ask me. Those are pretty nice, but now the villagers, it's enough meat. Robo will take it.
Not the most climatic game. Very anticlimactic finish. As you've just got two players killing each other all game, and no one attacking Robo until 20 years, apart from the Stark. Very poor communication, I think.
Yeah. I felt like Purple was ignoring the center a bit too much. Obviously, he was hoping... Yeah, Purple's resources are ridiculous. Look at that, 7k, 6k, 7k. So he was just banking it up, was hoping everyone else would fight it. And Robo, well, he didn't have a lot of stuff left at the end. If we take a look at that, that's mainly villagers, some scorpions, some... And he was at pop 60, so he lost everything at home. But it was enough.
Very surprising, the lack of people attacking him. Normally that's when you expect everyone to attack when it's down to 50 years, but it was only Stark attacking him, and only in the last 20 years did the other two players join in.
Oh man, yeah, surprising indeed. And well, let's take a look at the achievements, shall we? Robo in the end, most kills, most losses, did shred quite a bit of those scorpions, did eat some onager shots, and Stark, quite a nice KD. Droop, well, he lost a lot of scorpions, a lot of boat riders against all those scorpions. Yeah, and Droop, he wasn't really dominating the resources too much, honestly. Food was far behind, and well, wood was far behind. And the timings were obviously pretty nice for him.
I feel bad for Marauder. There's nothing worse than doing a free-for-all game when someone has a vendetta against you immediately and tries to eliminate both you and himself from the game. It just kind of ruins the entire point.
Yeah, that's just so ugly for you.